The absurd, in terms of existentialist philosophy, is born out of the conflict between the human tendency to seek inherent value and meaning in life and the inability to find any. With no life meaning, there is no point to live. The suicide is also meaningless, so we are left living with no meaning. This meaningless state of being alive supposedly leaves us in a state of total freedom. An iRobot vacuum rolls out beneath a kitchen valance that also resembles a stage curtain. The vacuum performs a unique show with every run, but will inevitably knock down the walls that intimidate and pretend to contain the performance, making a loud and dramatic clack. As the vacuum pushes the boundaries of its containment, it will also randomly nudge the female mannequin head positioned in front of her own reflection. She'll be pushed around the floor until she can no longer see her image. The vacuum acts as a court jester, dancing absurdly and mocking, "Look! Your work is so easy, a robot can do it." Robert Irwin talks about pulling out the cultural indoctrinated plugs. He says when you get them all pulled out, a little period goes by, and then it's absolutely serene. It's terrific. It just becomes really pleasant because you're out, you're all the way out. To me, this sounds like the total pure freedom that philosophers talk about when they talk about the absurd. In process, I now isolate these seemingly instinctual waves to determine each wave's validity, its truth. I am left with artwork that details these rumors.
One, left. Move Roomba to a new location, then press clean to restart.
My artwork consists of evidence where I am pulling these plugs, examining them closer, usually with frustration, thus they represent a point where pure freedom is not yet attained. A long blonde ponytail, fashion symbol of beauty, braided, reminiscent of childhood innocence and severed, removing itself from and denying all these rights. The personal object hangs dead from fishing line and is accompanied by the murder weapon and chalk to create the outline. Look at the bear, begging desperately for a hug. Yet it is a projection, making it impossible to ever be hugged. The juxtaposition of the projected bear over a canvas hung diagonally across the corner of the room create shadows and architectural elements hinting at the structure of a house. A house that the projected bear towers over, suggesting significance of the bear's need, while the hole painted on the canvas transforms the sign to read, "Home," rather than "Hug me." Mimicking the absurd in the universe's refusal to give us what we desire is the viewer's inability to give the projected bear a hug. It is in this endless, passive way that we have accepted our fandom community's ideology. I turn and investigate my fandom community face on, the community that thrives off living in the periphery and attempts to disguise itself as my conscience, whispering what is right and wrong, and hinting at gauges of self-worth and values. Art piece by art piece, I pull the plugs. I confront my fandom community, question their taunts, accusations, and expectations to find my truth, a truth removed from unhealthy or impure motives. I don't know if it's possible to pull every plug, but the notion of an infinite investigation does not stop me, rather it excites me. I grow with every perception change. It is in that decision to publicly expose the illogic of my fandom community, even if momentarily, that I feel freedom.